Welcome back to the Circle of Knowledge podcast. It's season 4. My name is Jon Kovach Jr., the host of this show, president of Amplified Minds, and founder of the Champion Circle. We've done a lot over the last few years, and it's just this month of May in 2018 when we first started this podcast. And it's a fun story because it was between us and the founders of Amplified Minds, and we took this little guy, this little snowball, the blue snowball microphone. And it was the only microphone that was working or syncing well with all of our laptops and all of our devices. So we decided, okay, let's go to a very, very quiet place and let's record our first episode. And we grabbed a few of these books behind me over here, and we went down into the basement of Matt Fritchie's home. And Matt Fritchie is one of the founders of Amplified Minds. And we decided that we were going to review one of the books, talk about it, brainstorm about it, and challenge our listeners to do something and to take action. So as we sat in this basement, we realized it was still too noisy. We could hear the baby's footsteps upstairs, and we just needed to get to a place where there was absolute silence. And so we went into one of the storage closets, dark, and full of a ton of stuff that we couldn't echo off of. And we started to record. And we recorded our first episodes. And as a result of the first episode, we decided that was short. That was awesome. Let's do another one. So we pulled out another book. We picked a principle to talk about, and we dove deep into that principle. And 15 minutes later, we were done. And we said, okay, we got to do one more. And we went in and we did it more, and we got more comfortable. And then all of a sudden, 20 minutes later, we're done. And that was the beginning of the Circle of Knowledge podcast. Our intention and our hope as a result of a podcast was to inspire people, to share with them what kinds of things we were learning, what golden nuggets were being shared and told in various books that we were reading. You see, Matt Fritchie, he understands how to speed read, and that principle alone gave him the ability to read 2 or 3 books a day. Now, I'm no speed reader. In fact, I'm an Audible speed reader, and I can listen to about a book a week. And I can read about a book in every 1 to 2 weeks. And as I got better and better at reading, this was a lot more fun for me because I got to experience the content that came from sharing and understanding content a little bit deeper. But you see, it's not just about reading books. It's about understanding the knowledge that people can share. And it's about sharing that knowledge with other people, and then taking action upon that knowledge. And so what we do on this show is we will review a book, or we'll talk to an individual, we'll interview a professional, we'll focus on a principle of knowledge, and then we'll challenge our listeners to take action based on the knowledge that they received. Now, we learned this concept as we strived really, really hard to implore this message and this dialogue in a lot of the masterminds that our company was hosting. You see, we'd bring together a lot of business professionals, CEOs, executives, and entrepreneurs. We'd put them in a room around a round table, and we'd go through and talk to each other about each of our challenges. And then we would focus on opportunities and solutions that would help people overcome those challenges. And you see, when we did that, we realized that the accountability and the level of accountability was increased, because now we had all these opportunities, and what were they going to do with them? Well, if they were to do nothing, we would kick them out. we just did not accept that. But if they took action and they said to us, I was going to go do, 40 phone calls in 1 week, or I was going to go get the licensing for my business, or I was going to go sell off a property, whatever it was that these people needed to do, they would go and do. And then 2 weeks later, we'd come back to our mastermind and we'd report back. And just like that, the accountability was up. So we decided, what if we turned this into a show? What if we didn't just do this for the people who are paying to be in our mastermind? What if we did this for the general public? And so we decided that this was the Circle of Knowledge was the opportunistic plan for us to give the mastermind formula to the public. And so here we are today. We've done everything from interview professionals, talk about books with other people, to talk to some of the members of we call the members of our community of achievers. Okay. And in the community of achievers, we've interviewed professionals, we've interviewed book authors, we've interviewed incredible business owners, and we've interviewed people who have nothing, because they were so passionate and so excited about the mastermind platform and the mastermind blueprint that they themselves found opportunities within themselves to overcome challenges, to reach their goals, and to move their life in a better direction. We have countless recommendations and a number of testimonials from people who've said thank you, who've loved it, who've come from a place of no progression and no growth to a place where they can finally achieve something. And that to me is one of the most proudest moments of starting this podcast, because we literally just wanted to bring people on and introduce them to this concept. So today I'm going to be interviewing a gentleman by the name of Alex Rodriguez, and he's just now jumping on the line. So we're gonna take a pause moment on the recording, and then I'm going to start the recording again, and we're going to have some fun here. Okay, are we ready? I'm going to take a pause. All right, so again, guys, joining me today is Alex Rodriguez, and I want to introduce him by just sharing how I found him. Somehow, some way, Alex, we're connected on Facebook, and I saw you post the other day about something really exciting that happened in your life. But what touched me, what I loved most, was that you shared a story about how coronavirus and the shutdown and quarantine took you away from your job. It had you move into a different direction, and all of a sudden you had to make a decision. And so you started chasing some of your other dreams, which led to a few incredible opportunities. And I won't burst the bubble for everybody. I want to have you give away the punchline here. But this caught my eye because I've been talking for 8 weeks now on what people need to do during COVID-19 and what people need to do to further their life, to improve their life, to chase down their hustle or chase down their hobbies and turn them into hustles, or find that dream job, or just do something to take advantage of the opportunistic time. And so I sent him a link and I said, Alex, I've got to have you on my show, man. This is going to be an awesome story to tell. So if you don't mind, I'm going to just tee you off, and I'd love to hear your background of your story. What happened when COVID started? What happened to your job? And where are you at now? And what happened that was so awesome in the last 8 weeks?
Okay. Well, music's always been a passion of mine. I've been doing music since I was 12, 14 years old, always as a hobby, just something that I kind of did on the side. And I loved it. I have a passion for it, just as I do my art and everything. But really the reason I didn't really pursue that career or that route in my life was just because I became a father when I was 18. And so responsibilities took over, and I really had to do something with my life and as a career, and a career choice that could make me some more money. So I ended up doing that and going the restaurant route, and really excelled at it. I ended up owning a couple restaurants in Salt Lake City, one in Draper, actually one in Salt Lake. Held those for about 4 years, got rid of those, ended up moving out here to Denver, and got an awesome job with Ruth's Chris Steakhouse as a general manager. And so I was running the downtown store here for, it's been a little bit over a year that I moved out here to, almost a year and a half now, out here to Denver. And it was mainly for work. And so when this whole scare started to take off, this whole Corona thing, we started hearing about it in January. And in my mind, I thought, this could get bad. This could get really bad. And I feel like I almost jinxed the world and jinxed myself, because every worst case scenario that kept on happening, it kept happening. And it escalated so quickly. And I remember in my mind thinking, oh man, there's no way. This company's way too big. I'm not going to get furloughed. I'm not going to get laid off. We're going to continue doing, the takeout stuff, and we're going to survive. We're going to be fine. About a week later, I get a phone call from my boss saying, hey, we're going to shut down the restaurant for a while. So you're going to have to lay off your staff. You're going to have to, we're going to lay you off. So, it's not, it's not good, but on the bright side, they're paying for my insurance for the next couple of months. So, I thought, okay, well, if I can survive off, if I qualify for unemployment and I can survive off that for the next couple of months, and they're paying for my insurance, well, I'm going to take this opportunity to really do something. No one's hiring right now. I mean, it's
Right.
not like I can go out and find a good job right now or in my profession, because no one's going to hire me. I actually interviewed with a couple of people thinking, okay, this might be, I might be able to get back in really quick. I quickly found out that no, that's not the case, and that wasn't going to happen, not at this time. So I thought, okay, well, I'm going to do the next best thing. I mean, I have some equipment that I've built up over the years. My knowledge of business and how to open up a business and how to open up an LLC and structure a business, I've done it all before. And so I figured, you know what, this is my opportunity. So I just focused on it, and I had been talking to my first artist that I signed. I had been talking to him for a couple months, and he didn't quite think I was serious about it, or didn't know how serious I was about it, or what kind of equipment I had or anything like that. It was all talk at that point. Finally, it got to the point where I said, okay, well, let's have you come by and record, because he got laid off too. I said, okay, well, let's go down to my house. We'll record. And we got busy. I probably spent about 100, pretty close to 200 hours on that album, putting it together. So it was really long hours, really long days. But honestly, when you're doing something that you love and something that you're passionate about, time flies. It doesn't even feel it. Yeah, I was a little tired. I was a little exhausted at times, but that exhaustion didn't hit until after the project was done. And then it's like, okay, now it's bedtime.
Yeah.
But yeah, so I structured it. We went ahead and put this album together. He was pretty impressed with everything that I did. He had worked with other people before, but never at the caliber that we had done it at. And I felt very proud of the product that we put out. And it's actually due to release on Monday. So that's the first artist. I am working on a couple other projects with a couple other artists. So hopefully in the next month or so, we'll have a couple others. And, the sky's the goal. And this is what the procrastination, I had a nick in the butt, and just, no, we're not going to procrastinate on this. We're going to move forward. We're going to do this. Because honestly, I could get called back to work in a month, and I work, in the restaurant business, you work 50, 60 hours a week, so my whole goal and my whole plan is that, hopefully in the next few months, we see, something come of this, and I continue to spend time on this, and I could actually make that move and leave the restaurant world behind me and pursue what I've always dreamt of pursuing.
It just blows my mind that in this short amount of time, you could chase a dream so quickly and make things happen and still have other developments down the road. And you're literally months away from just replacing that part of your world where you've had so much life experience working in the restaurant business, where you could actually up and leave it here very, very soon. And that's awesome.
That's the plan.
I think that's awesome. Remind me the name of the artist who you just recently signed. Are you allowed to say?
Yeah. His name is Dre Els. And if you go on, let's see, we've got the official Dre Els on Facebook. Actually, no, it's just Dre Els at Ojo Records on Facebook. And it's the official Dre Els on Instagram. So, if anybody wants to check out his stuff, there are previews of his music before it is released.
And it'll be released on Monday, you say?
It's going to be released on Monday. Yeah, it's going to hit all major platforms, iTunes, Spotify, anything you can think of. A couple of the distributors may take a little bit longer to get those onto their platforms, but we've definitely got the majority of everyone on board to release on Monday.
Dude, that is so cool, and congratulations to that. And that's amazing. As a business owner, I've learned how I can influence my community and my audience, and I can grow my influence through TikTok. I was watching the music video you posted on Facebook and on the Facebook page, and I was like, this would be an interesting deal for me to add to a few of my TikTok videos. And so I thought, okay,
that would be awesome.
I wonder what I could do with that sound. And he's got a sweet chorus, an incredible lineup, and I love the lyric. It was an interesting idea that came from that one thing. So just know, man, that once the music's out there, it's going to change the world, because people are going to align with it. They're going to hold on to it. They're going to love it.
Oh yeah. That's the plan. We spent a lot of time trying to perfect that sound. I mean, that was the thing, is we didn't want to sound like anybody else. So it is, when you listen to the music, you can get elements of, maybe some old school hip hop with elements of the new school hip hop, with hopefully an artist that doesn't really sound like anybody else. His energy was incredible. I'm extremely blessed to have found this guy and work with this guy. And as a matter of fact, we recorded another music video last night.
Nice.
So that was pretty fun. But I think we're probably going to take another couple of more shoots so we can have a little bit more footage, make it a little bit different than the first video. And, we're just getting started. So it's only going to go up and get better.
Nice. I think you just muted yourself, by the way. Oh, there we go. Awesome, dude. And by the way, I'm from Northern Colorado. I grew up in Fort Collins, Fort Collins area, and Denver, your neck of the woods. I've been there 100 times to Tuesdays. So that's exciting. I'm really excited to hear that. It's good to have good talent in local Colorado, man. I get so
That's what we need out here. That's what we need. Colorado and Salt Lake are still, I feel like they're not on the map yet.
Yeah.
And so hopefully we'll be changing that. Cause I have roots in Salt Lake City. So,
cool.
That's where I was born and raised. So, we'll be doing some projects there too.
Well, good, man. I can't wait to go to lunch with you and hang out with you and, Drael's. Let's transition a little bit here, and I'd love to know what golden nuggets of wisdom, what knowledge would you like to share based on your experience, based on the past few months. What knowledge would you like to share with my audience and my listeners? Something that they should know, something that they should employ in their lives.
I think the biggest thing for me, and one of the biggest ahas that I've had actually in the last couple of years, I would say, is technology has gone so far nowadays to where you can actually create a business, start a business, and do it all yourself. You don't need to be paying attorneys thousands of dollars to set you up with an LLC. Now, I'm not an attorney. I'm not advising to do that, but it is possible. If you have a limited budget, but you want to go big, and you have that ability to make your business look big, you have that ability to do things on your own. Another great source of stuff, you want voiceovers, things like that. Like there's great services out there like Fiverr, Fiverr.com. Those guys are amazing. And, for very inexpensive, you can get professional sounding voiceovers for, voice recordings or whatever it is that you're doing in your business. The information is out there. And that's the one biggest thing that I've taken away from this entire project is the information is out there. The ability to do these things and to make a business look as big as some of these big businesses that are out there is very, very possible. So, for me, I hope that answers the question, but for me, that's really what really has struck me the most, especially after this last project and how quickly I was able to get it off the ground and get this moving.
I love that.
Just to give you an idea, if you look at some of this stuff here, I've done everything from myself, the website, all the social media, the producing on it, the videos, the editing, the whole thing. I'm a one-man show. This is all me. Now that's going to change because I'm planning on getting a lot busier and hiring people to do these things, so eventually I'm going to get to that point. But right now, being on a limited budget, I'm furloughed. I'm not, I'm not about to spend my entire life savings, because I got little kids to support,
Right.
But I was able to do it within my budget and still put out a product that sounds like a big time studio was able to do it.
That's fantastic, man. And I 100% agree with you. To me and to my audience, there is no excuse with the technology and the capabilities and the affordability of everything out there today. It is so easy for you to start a business. I just grabbed off my shelf a book called The World is Flat, and it's not Flat World Believers, just saying. It's a Thomas Friedman book. It's an old big book. And in this book, he talks about the rise of the internet. And this is an archaic, older book. But what they talked about is now that the internet is available to almost everyone in every country, there are no longer mountains of people ahead of the game. In fact, the world is flat. The opportunity is equal. The plateau has been created, and you guys have the opportunity to be just
Absolutely.
as good as the Bill Gateses of the world. And he goes in and talks about those stories, and it's pretty cool. So I love that. One other question I had for you before we sign off here is tell me a little bit about how we can get a hold of you. I know that you put on here, you can go to ojorecords.com. That's OJO records.com. Are there any other ways that people can contact you, or is that the main way you'd like to be contacted?
Yeah. Just a quick correction. It's Ojo, like
Ojo.
eight. So it is a OJO, but it's a Spanish name. So it's Ojo.
I love
Like,
it. I love it. And
so
thank you for correcting me, because I know that my listeners will want to say Ojo and they'll be like, oh no, it's Ojo.
there you go. Well, you can get the easiest way to get a hold of me is through social media. Like you and I connected, Facebook. Alex Rodriguez is that's my personal page, and I've got Ojo Records, which is going to be my company page, and you can also see my art on My Arte on Facebook. It's MYARTE, and you can see some of the other stuff that I've done, some of the portraits, pencil portraits, a couple of the murals that I've done. They're all posted on there. So and I've had that page for a few years. So you take a time, follow me, check it out. Any support would be very, very helpful. But yeah, just send me a message on Messenger. That's the easiest way to get a hold of me.
I will. I'll put all this in the show notes so that our listeners can contact you. I myself am a local artist connoisseur, so I'm going to go check out your art myself, and you might see a transaction come in from me. I freaking love buying art from friends and locals. It's one of my favorite addictions.
Awesome.
Oh, it's fantastic. Well, as we talked about technology, we talked about the flat world principle and how there's just so much opportunity with the technology available today. What's one challenge you can issue to my listeners? What's something you can challenge them to do today to take action, even though we're seeing, communities move from the red to the orange to the yellow, and there's a lot more activity. We can kind of start to go back to normal life. There's going to be a second wave. There's going to be more of this quarantine stuff in the near future. Because of all that, what's your advice and what's your challenge to my listeners that they can take right now to move their life in a better direction?
Don't waste time. Don't procrastinate. There's times to relax and hang out, but really, if you want to make a difference in your life, the best thing to do is just jump at it and get it done. Just do it. There's going to be, I've failed in business before, and it's not fun. It sucks. But you got to pick yourself up and do it over again. And one of these is going to catch. One of these is going to make you into a millionaire. You never know which one it's going to be. It's going to be the simplest one, the one you least expect too. I guarantee it.
Oh, I guarantee it too. I am so pumped up. So Monday, Dre L's album launch or song launch. That's pretty exciting.
Album release. Yep.
I will. I'll be messaging you privately, and if there's a way that my audience and I can support you, jump on one of those premieres or one of those watch parties on Facebook. We're happy to do that, and happy to support you, man. And thanks for sharing this message. I get so fired up and so pumped up when I see entrepreneurs like you out there hustling and finding ways to make ends meet during times of crisis. And it just goes to show you guys that it's not impossible, but this message is real. And here's a real life example of somebody who's finding ways to make it happen. Alex Rodriguez, everybody.
Thank you very much. I appreciate you letting me come on the show. This means a lot to me. Thank you.
Absolutely. And maybe we'll do it again here soon. I'll be reaching out to you and would love to connect even more outside of the podcast, but I'm looking forward to our connection and also how we can support you. And I look forward to seeing that album release and just another, let's help you get to that goal of yours. I think that's fantastic.
Awesome. I appreciate the support. Thank you so much. And thanks for everybody for listening and being on this podcast.
Awesome. Alex Rodriguez, everybody. Thank you so much, Alex. We appreciate you.
All right. Thank you. Have a great day, guys.
All right. See ya. All right. That was my interview with Alex Rodriguez. You guys, what an incredible story. Look, I just found this guy on Facebook. I posted a comment, and I don't even remember how it happened. In fact, I think I posted a post saying that season 4, we were looking for people to interview artists, book authors, coaches, speakers, and just business people with an incredible story. And I think he messaged me and he just said, hey man, I just launched a new album. And I was like, well, that's not what I'm looking for. And then all of a sudden I dove deeper and I was like, oh my gosh, this guy's story is incredible. He said he was furloughed from his job because of COVID-19. He was, in the restaurant business and management for the longest time. And all of a sudden he had an opportunity to do something to provide for his children. And he decided he would chase one of his passions, including art and music. And he decided to just pull the trigger and he started Ojo Records, ojorecords.com. And he found a person who had been talking to over the years. So he had been thinking about this. He had been planning it out and he had been working on this story a little bit. And then it just was opportunistic to say, hey, you're unemployed. I'm unemployed right now. Let's go. Let's do this. Let's make something happen. And he's been hustling and making it happen. This is the stuff that I get fired up about. This is the stuff that I get so pumped up about because people are making it happen. Okay, 8 weeks ago, I found out that my uncle had COVID-19 and my uncle was on a downward trajectory. And we went into quarantine about 4 or 5 days before the rest of the nation did. Knowing and preparing that next following week that my uncle, who was on a downward spiraling, chaotic health decline, that this wasn't going to end well. There was no cure, no possibility that this human was going to overcome COVID-19. And we knew it was coming. And in this time of mourning and time of sadness and time for my family, we recognized that life must move on. There's no sitting and waiting for this thing to be over. And I jumped on live, on Facebook Live, and I decided I was going to commit every day, going live every day. And I was going to share messages and I was going to connect entrepreneurs and I was going to talk about things that I knew that were awesome. And I was going to teach people what I know. And I was going to practice my speech. And I was going to practice my sharing my knowledge, right? And connecting with people. And now I feel like if I don't go live on a weekday, I have failed people. And I have found a way to make my business grow. I have more DMs than I've ever before. I've made more friends than I have ever before during COVID-19. And I've built more business opportunities than I've ever before during COVID-19. And I just love hearing stories like Alex Rodriguez, where he is overcoming the challenges of this COVID thing. And he's finding success. And he's doing what he loves doing it. 2 days ago, we went on a live and we talked about turning your hobbies into hustles. And this is exactly what he loved to do. So as we sign off today, I just want to employ with you the importance of the message that anything is possible. Okay. Anything is possible. I brought off this book, had to dust it off the shelf. This is an old book, actually gifted to me by a good friend. His name was John as well. And this is by Thomas Friedman. And The World is Flat, A Brief History of the 21st Century. And it talks about how the internet made the world of possibility open to anybody, where anybody could become Bill Gates. Anybody could become Elon Musk. You didn't have to be born of wealth or of extreme talent to make it big in the world. And I was super excited. And I'm just going to open up to a random page here. And I'm just going to point to a section that I think iterates what we're talking about. Ready for this? America's long-term economic growth and standard of living have long depended on leveraging technology as a way to compete with cheaper foreign labor. Our focus has always been on achieving such high levels of productivity that we can produce goods and services at competitive prices and still pay our workers decent wages. Drop shipping, internet sales, e-commerce, the business I'm in, which is virtual assistants. Okay, interesting. Let's see, make sure I got this right. Our focus has always been on achieving such high levels of productivity so that we can produce goods and services at competitive prices and still pay our workers decent wages. To pull that off, though, we have had to combine the best of what computers and telecommunications can offer with the best trained workforce we can build, and then constantly reintegrate the best practices and new skills being honed by the workforce with the best new technologies to make the whole, the machines and the people more and more productive. There are lots of new middle jobs in the loop if we can keep it going. And this is why the world is awesome. This is why America is one of the greatest countries, okay, in terms of capitalism. We have found ways to produce and create opportunity, endless and abundance for everybody. So I hope you enjoyed this message today. And I hope you love Alex Rodriguez's story. Go check him out at oholdrecords.com. You can also find Alex Rodriguez. I'll put all of this information in the show notes, and go find him on Facebook, send him a message, check out his art. And we've got Dre L's album release on Monday. What we call, what day is it? It's going to be, what is the holiday on Monday? I don't even know. I'm an entrepreneur. I don't keep track of holidays. We've got a holiday coming up. What holiday is it? Memorial Day. Man, that's embarrassing. It's a Memorial weekend. So there you go. On Memorial Day, Monday the 25th. Look, us entrepreneurs, we don't take vacations. It's not in our blood. Vacations are not, we can't afford them, literally. And we focus so much more on the value we can provide and the missions we're trying to attend. Sound good? Man, I love it. I love it. I am pumped up. Happy Wednesday, happy Thursday, whatever day it is. I don't even know. Let's get to work, everybody. Take on the challenge. Take on the challenge and just don't waste time. I appreciate you all. This has been an awesome, awesome day, and it's just kicking off. So welcome to the Circle of Knowledge podcast. I hope this blows your mind. Let me end my broadcast here.